Hello, I'm John Roberts, and welcome to the CBS Evening News online edition. Just ahead, election day after. Dan Rather reports yesterday's strong voter turnout in Iraq has not stopped insurgent attacks. Also, it promises to be one of the biggest celebrity trials ever. But will Michael Jackson's fame prevent him from getting a fair trial? We'll give you the inside story. And a male birth control pill? Find out why researchers think pond scum and men may have an awful lot in common. It's all starting now on the CBS Evening News online edition.
There's a lingering sense of elation here tonight, fueled by those Iraqis who voted yesterday in defiance of terror threats and dozens of actual attacks. Today, militants released a video they say shows that they are responsible for downing a British military air transport.
The videotape shows a missile streaking into the sky, then debris on the ground, which an insurgent group claims is the wreckage of a British military plane they say they shot down yesterday, killing 10. The authenticity of the tape could not be verified. A day after the historic elections here, U.S. troops kept up a high profile, but 4 more Marines died in combat. It was a stark reminder that the insurgency is not going away. A government official said today there were more than 36 attacks on Election Day, and that a young boy with Down syndrome was used in one of them. More than 40 people were killed in all. Despite the bloodshed, many Iraqis are still celebrating as the first phase of vote counting wrapped up at polling stations.
I don't think there's anything wrong in feeling excited as long as we don't lose perspective of the side that it is just a first step and that there's still a long way ahead.
Final results won't be known for a week or more, but parties backed by the majority Shiites are expected to do well. They will likely control the new National Assembly, which will have the duty of writing a permanent constitution. If approved, elections for a new government will be held in December. Officials can only hope the turnout then will be as good as yesterday's. The latest estimates indicate about 57% of eligible voters made the pilgrimage to the polls.
In the small central California city of Santa Maria, jury selection began today for the criminal trial of Michael Jackson. The singer, who is 46 years old, is accused of sexually molesting a 13-year-old boy back in 2003. Jackson denies the charge and is asking for a fair trial. But can he get one? Vince Gonzalez was inside the courtroom today and gives you the inside story.
On a sunny but chilly California morning, a warm welcome for the self-proclaimed king of pop. Dressed in white as a way to self-proclaim his innocence, Michael Jackson walked into the courthouse with a smile. He faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted of molesting a now 15-year-old cancer patient. Maybe less upbeat were the first of hundreds of potential jurors. Those who aren't cut immediately will likely face intense questioning themselves about their own experiences and attitudes about sexual behavior.
It's very difficult for a juror to stand in a courtroom and reveal things about their world, their private life.
In the court of public opinion, Jackson made the latest move, releasing this starkly lit video on his website with the approval of the judge.
Please keep an open mind and let me have my day in court. I deserve a fair trial like every other American citizen.
Many of his supporters here hope so. Do you think he can get a fair trial?
I think so. I think he can get a fair trial if the jurors do their job right.
But legal experts are doubtful.
Because of the person involved, because of the preconceived, fixed notions that people have of him, Michael Jackson may not be able to get a fair trial anywhere. And that's a big problem.
Unlike other high-profile defendants, like O.J. Simpson and Charles Manson, Jackson's public life, warts and all, has been an open book, known to millions ever since he was a child. But that could also help the singer.
It works for him because people can write off a lot of behaviors. That's just Michael Jackson being weird.
Whatever the outcome of this circus-like event, legal experts say keep it in perspective.
This is clearly not the most important case in American history. I mean, this is a fairly mundane case, but for the fact that you have the king of pop, a man who's known to hundreds of millions of people around the world, who's on trial. And I think for that reason alone, it's different from everything that's come before.
Some legal experts suggest that issues raised here about fame and notoriety could be argued all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Jury selection in this case could take several weeks. Vince Gonzalez, CBS News, Santa Maria, California.
Now to the payoff on the pond reference. The government said today it's funding a study of a new birth control device for men. It's a removable plug to block the tubes that carry sperm. But what about a birth control pill for men? Sharon Alfonsi reports on a new idea that's just been floated in tonight's Health Watch.
When researchers wanted to find a way to stop men from reproducing, they turned to pond scum.
Fortunately, the proteins that are in the algal flagellum are very similar to those that are in the human sperm flagellum.
Obvious comparisons aside, it turns out sperm and pond scum move the same way. Researchers at the University of Massachusetts Medical School have figured out a way to stop algae from moving, and they can essentially do the same thing to sperm.
We can block the sperm movement
Simply by turning off their tails.
If it can't swim, it can't get up there to fertilize the egg, and conception will not occur.
The strategy is a big step towards bringing a male birth control pill onto the market in the next decade. Like its female counterpart, it would be easy to take, free of serious side effects, and reversible.
It's kind of hard to imagine a birth control pill for men. I would think it would hurt.
Researchers say the development of a male pill would be revolutionary, but some women say file it under the bad idea category.
I think it's kind of funny. There's no way I'd ever trust a guy to remember to take the pill.
She says to him, "Are you on the pill?" He says, "Sure, sure." And 9 months later, she finds herself with child.
Health specialists say a male pill could have unintended social consequences. If men stop using condoms, they fear sexually transmitted diseases could skyrocket.
But any problems or prescriptions could still be a way off. Could be 10 years before the science of pond scum seeps into your bedroom. Sharon Alfonsi, CBS News, New York.
More stories are just a click away, but be sure to join me on television for the on-air edition of the CBS Evening News. On Tuesday's broadcast, the Zoloft defense. We'll have the story of a young teen who was taking the drug when he killed his grandparents. Could the antidepressant have been a factor, and should it be given to kids? For CBSNews.com, I'm John Roberts.